heading north on Highway 97 towards Vernon, and you can see there's KALAMALKA Lake. Beautiful day today. I had to stop and show you how beautiful this is. This is the area of Grünrad, and it's huge farming area. In some ways it reminds me of the valleys in Austria with the crops. But this is a major grain area, and you can see a granary, the bins there, I forget what those are called, the elevators. And there's a sign saying on this truck, Sure Crop Feeds, which is for the cattle. And this building over here, it says serving farmers since 1957. All right, you can see now more of the historic village. The main street, it's quiet on a Sunday. At the very end of the main drag there is the ski hill, way high up. And my son was married on top of that ski hill. So this area has a special significance to me. At the wedding, I had to take a ski lift up to the lodge where the ceremony was held. He's a mountaineer, loves to climb 11,000-foot mountains, and he's skied here many times, and he's also done paragliding where he jumps off a mountain attached to a sail. I would say he loves high adrenaline sports. This town is worth visiting, and it's a year-round playground. So that's it for the major core center, the historic center of Revelstoke. Okay, look at those peaks there. That's where we're headed for Rogers Pass. Pretty amazing. The one on the right, the jagged peak. My son has climbed that, 11,000 feet. Pretty amazing. So we've been coming on Highway 1 the whole time. And all around, it's just amazing scenery. View is getting even better. Look at that, huh? So here's the view from the visitor center at Rogers Pass. That's facing east where we're going to be going. A lot of camper vans are stopped here, a lot of tour groups already. This is where I've just come from. mount. That big mountain I told you about, I forgot the name already. And here's the visitor center. Let's check it out. So I'm in the visitor center and they've done it up really nicely. Look at this replica of a cabin with snowshoes and the old saw for sawing down trees. Map, antique lantern, old utensils, old backpack. That's amazing. Really well done. Lots of memorabilia in here. Look at these old posters advertising tourism. Winnipeg and Manitoba, the Grand Transcontinental Highway to Winnipeg and Manitoba's boundless wheat fields. Well, I've never seen those before. And the Canadian Pacific Railway, Canadian Northwest. Well, here's the cougar. The park's attendant just told me this is a cougar, not a lynx, as I originally described. And these things are quite stealthy, so they can be watching you and you never see them. There's a whole other series of tunnels, and the trucks coming up the hill really have a hard time. You don't want to be stuck behind a truck. But luckily there's lots of passing lane areas. And I was thinking about the modern trucks. Some of them are so tall, you wonder if they're going to clear the ceiling. Isn't this fun? Another one! You can see snow on the side still, right on top of the roof of the tunnel. Oh, this is a long one. I love it. And then a third one coming up. The trucks really have to check their brakes. There's 7% grade going downhill. So imagine the train. Well, we've just entered Golden. It's a long, flat valley and famous for its ski hill, kicking horse ski hill, very steep. You can't see it, it's on the right hand side of me. And lots of double black runs, which my son loves to ski, and backcountry as well. This is the main highway that we're still on now, going through Golden. But the the town itself has a historic center just like Revelstoke does, and some quaint stores. And again, like Revelstoke, it was built around providing services for the Canadian Pacific Railway, which goes through here parallel to the highway. So now it's getting easier driving, more straighter, flatter, faster, not so windy, and no more avalanche tunnels. We're definitely a lot lower than where we were coming down from Revelstoke Pass. I just gassed up and the price is back to $2.19, which is close to the Kelowna prices of $2.16. Much better than the prices in Revelstoke, which were $2.30 a liter. So now we're heading towards BANFF, and after that we get to go to Calgary, which is where I'm heading. Check out this construction area. They're making this area 4 lanes. poles sticking down into the earth like 100 feet down from me. It's a drop-off after this barrier here. This is amazing. How do they do that? This is a huge construction project for making 4 lanes for Highway 1 from Golden to BANFF area. This is pretty impressive engineering. I think it's going to be in at least 2 more years, they say, or at least a year. I didn't see the date. But look at all these huge cranes that drive these metal poles or pipes into the ground. Then they anchor them, then they build a platform that holds up the crane and then eventually holds up the highway. It's astounding. This is a huge monumental project. So right now it's pretty slow going. It's only 50 kilometers the whole way. And last year the highway, this stretch wasn't even open because it was totally closed so they could work on it. Wow, that's a really nice view of the Rockies near BANFF. Nice clear blue sky with clouds. That's when Alberta is at its finest with the blue sky. In the winter it can be minus 30, but when it's sunny, I'd rather have that than cold weather of Vancouver where it's rainy and gray and maybe only minus 10 at the most or 0, but it's cold, damp. This is much more bearable. This is a beautiful shot of the Rocky Mountains. All right, on the right hand side there, or sorry, in the middle there, that knife-like mountain jutting up into the sky, that's a classic mountain in BANFF, Rundle Mountain. You can do a skyline hike to above the tree line there, and also climbers have climbed it. But that's a classic mountain. You see it when you're in BANFF. It's a backdrop for a lot of pictures. It's just very